The last lesson, a teacher's farewell. In a quiet village nestled between rolling green hills stood a small school with cracked walls and a creaky wooden door. Inside that humble building, Master Raman had spent over 40 years teaching generations of students. He wasn't just a teacher. He was a mentor, a guide, and a father figure to the children of the village. With his deep, wise eyes and gentle smile, he had earned the love and respect of all who had the privilege to sit in his class. Among his many students was Ayan, a bright but mischievous boy. He was intelligent but lazy, gifted but unmotivated. He often skipped lessons, choosing instead to run through the fields, climb trees, or play by the river. Whenever Master Raman scolded him for neglecting his studies, Ayan would grin and say, "There's always tomorrow, Ustadji. I will study later." Master Raman would shake his head and sigh, "Ayan, time is like the flowing river. It never waits for anyone." The unexpected announcement. One crisp autumn morning, the village received unexpected news. The government had decided to shut down the school. A new highway was being built, and with modernization, children were expected to travel to the city for education. The village school, its walls filled with laughter, dreams, and wisdom, would be no more. When the children heard the news, their hearts sank. They had never imagined a world without their school or without Master Raman's daily lessons. The realization hit Ayan the hardest. For the first time, he felt a sense of urgency, a deep regret for the days he had wasted. Master Raman's last lesson would be held the next day, the final day. The next morning, the entire village gathered at the school. Students, past and present, came to pay their respects. Even elders, who had once sat in Master Raman's class as children, stood quietly, their eyes filled with sorrow. The classroom was silent as Master Raman entered. He placed his worn-out books on the desk and looked at the young faces before him. His hands trembled slightly, but his voice was steady. "Today," he began, "will be my last lesson, and I want you to remember one thing. Knowledge is a treasure no one can steal from you. Money comes and goes, power rises and falls, but wisdom stays with you forever." Ayan, sitting in the front row, swallowed the lump in his throat. He had spent years ignoring these words, but now every sentence felt like a dagger to his heart. He wished he had paid more attention, wished he had valued this man's wisdom before it was too late. Master Raman continued, "Many of you will go to the city to study. Some of you will stay behind. But no matter where life takes you, never forget the power of education. Never take your teachers for granted." Ayan's realization. As the lesson came to an end, the students rose to their feet. One by one, they approached Master Raman, touching his feet in respect. Ayan stood frozen. His heart pounded. Regret filled his chest like a heavy stone. When his turn came, he didn't just touch Master Rahman's feet. He fell to his knees, his eyes brimming with tears. Ustadji, I have wasted so much time. I never truly appreciated you. Master Rahman smiled gently and placed his hand on Ayan's head. It is never too late to learn, my son. Tears streamed down Ayan's face. The boy who had once laughed at his teacher's words now felt an ache he couldn't describe. He wanted to make up for lost time, but he knew he never could. As the sun began to set behind the hills, Master Rahman walked home for the last time, leaving behind lessons not just in books, but in the hearts of his students. Epilogue. The legacy lives on. Years passed, the village changed, and the school became nothing more than a memory. But Master Rahman's teachings never faded. Ayan grew up to become a teacher himself, dedicating his life to spreading knowledge just as his mentor had done. Every time he entered a classroom, he would remember that one lesson, the final lesson, that changed his life forever. And when his students tried to delay their studies, he would smile and say, "Time is like the flowing river. It never waits for anyone." Moral of the story: value your teachers before it's too late. We often take our mentors for granted, only realizing their importance when they are gone. Time once lost cannot be recovered. Wasting time in youth can lead to deep regret later. True education is beyond books. A great teacher doesn't just teach subjects, but shapes lives. Gratitude matters. A simple thank you can mean the world to someone who has dedicated their life to you. This story reminds us that teachers are like guiding lights, and we should respect, cherish, and learn from them while we can.